Hello everyone, Ito here and welcome back to another week of this Minecraft series. And this week we are going to be working there on the workshop. So I think that either I'm going to be working on the outside or I'm going to be working on the inside. But I haven't defined that yet, so I'm going to try to do my best to make some progress here, but I don't know how much time I'm going to have, so let's go with that right now. Starting with the Monday stream where we decided to work on the workshop here. So, of course, as usual, I decided to gather my resources. We crafted the schematic table. We needed to craft another schematic cannon because, believe it or not, I couldn't find my old ones and I was pretty sure that I wanted to play with them. We grabbed the schematic and then we went inside and it doesn't fit. So meaning with this that of course we need to screw out the entire plan for this because it's not something that is going to look cool. I want to be able to see at my tank over here, the one that's going to be on the back here. And also we need to find a different design that is not going to occupy that many of this space here because that's going to be the place where we extract the materials. So well, we need to start from scratch here, and indeed I did way more than that, because on the Wednesday I got stuff to do over here in real life, so I couldn't log in and we didn't stream, but then on the Friday we did way more kind of to cover up for the, for the Wednesday missing one. So, well, actually let me show you, because we did a lot more progress, and as you can see, ta-da, ta-da, and even ta-da! Yeah, that's weird, don't worry. So yeah, let me show you the engine right now, because I started here doing some also on the water thingies, but focusing on the engine, you can see that this guy right now is finally working. It's on level 9, and I can show you that because I'm wearing my Google from the create on my curious slot over there, and also I got that hidden because otherwise I look like way too funky like this, so yeah. I like it to keep it hidden because I like my dark glasses, it's way more stylish. So this is the engine. It's working by getting fueled by the lava bucket here, which is grabbed by this mechanical arm. So the mechanical arm is grabbing the bucket. It's trying to power up one of the blaze burners that are all of them working in tandem, and then it's spending kind of a pretty much like the empty bucket here again. So it's just one bucket filling and refilling and refilling. And then we got this array of 16 cauldrons, which is way more than what we need. I believe we need between 2 and 14. I mean 12 and 14. So with 16, you can see I got way more lava than I would need. And that's kind of pretty much the whole system. So then we got an infinite lava pool, water pool that is kind of pouring into the engine. And this actually is not running at max speed, it's running to 192 over there. Because otherwise you get actually even more water to pour in, and then this doesn't look as clean. So yeah, we take these over the streams and it's working perfectly. And also I got this in the past open, and if you are dealing with that and your water keeps frozen and you lose kind of the water into your engine, a simple solution is using copycat panels on the sides or on the bottom or even on the top if you want to cover it. And this way it's pretty much unnoticeable that you got kind of a sneaky infinite water here. So that's kind of another cool thing, and let me take a break now because the next part is going to be a little bit more convoluting and I need to catch my breath, so I will be right back. So now I'm going to show you what is going to be this workshop, because we are going to be working into our hex crafting system. So I developed these for my own role-playing game. I want to share it with the people here on the server, and I want to give them like a small briefcase on code. This is going to work for my own game because I really love it. So instead of working in the aesthetics outside, as you can see here, no progress, we worked on the template here on the inside. And I developed this concept over the screen because, to be honest, this is going to be, I don't know how going to be developed, but It's going to be on the go pretty much, so everything is going to be improvised. But I develop a system when you are going to have 6 blocks here or in concept for the traits on the weapon. Then you are going to show that into 6 different kind of lamps on the top that is going to reflect how much full is your weapon in regarding to the traits. Then you are going to have another like set of lamps that is going to showcase the negative traits that are going to kind of give you more room to craft stuff on the weapon. Or that was the concept. But then we came with something probably better over the stream, so we can scrap now all of this because I think it's more confusing than helpful right now. And wrong one. And we can talk about what is kind of going to be left here. So you are going to have a back room, which is going to be more about the aesthetics and everything of telling the story. And then you're going to have a first lectern that is going to be with this book. This book is like the type of the weapons. I call them competencies on my game because, you know, in my game, it's a role-playing game. You need to have skills and you need to be competent on that. And it's pretty much like your fighting skills. So here you are going to choose your type of weapon. Your weapon is going to give you a damage. It's going to give you a kaicho, and a kamae, and different traits. And you can see that all of these on the caps on the top are the different type of weapons over there. And even the special one, which are trainings, which is kind of a little bit more niche. But the idea is you are going to select one of your weapons and you are going to try to develop either more damage or a kaicho, which is like the critical effect that you can have and the condition that you need to require or fulfill in order to activate your kaicho, which is your kamae, your position. So if you are fighting with your two-handed sword here, like a double sword like this one, then maybe you are going to either make more damage or you are going to bleed your opponents or stuff like that. So that's the concept. So you choose your first book here. Then you go into the second floor where you are going to arrive probably to this lectern because most of the people tend to see to the right. But also we can cover this with some blocks. So you are going to have here a second book which is going to be the damage. And here you can choose different traits that are going to cost points. These are the amount of points that they are going to require. And you can choose a strong, which is +1 damage, that the weapon only deals damage while it's hidden on the first turn, that the weapon can be throwable, so it's going to be against opponents that are at the range. This could be lowered down to 2. Your weapon can be flexible against opponents with two-handed weapons. Your weapon can be a pike, so it's going to deal more damage to mounted opponents. Your weapon can have a glaive or a broader sword, so actually it's going to be better for people that are standing against you. Or your weapon can have elements of capture, like nets, ropes, or chains even, so they are going to be better against people that are going to be sailing. Then you can choose your next step, which are going to be the kaicho. And the kaicho is kind of a really cool because this is your essential critical effect for your weapon. So you can change that for any type of weapon. You can spend either 1 point or 3. And the difference is going to be, if you spend 1, you especially change what the weapon is kind of integrated with. And you choose a new one entirely different. Or if you spend 3, you have both of them. So for example, if we choose here a weapon with piercing, it's going to break the opponent's armor and going to deal more damage. Extended is going to give you more reach, which is going to be useful for counterattacking, for defending yourself, or even for covering for other allies. You can give it the blade, so it's going to be able to cut opponents. You can give it the weapon the massive trait, which is going to also make them deal more damage. You can make the weapon untamed, which is going to be more wild, but if this is the essential trait that you use while you are fighting while mounted, or you can do it steadfast, so the weapon is going to be reliable, and this is what you want when you are trying to shoot the bow and the arrow. Or also you can go with the ostentatious, or what we call it, the flashy one, so you can boast in the middle of the combat and everyone is going to be paying attention to you because, you know, it's flashy. So if you want a shiny weapon, you can also do that. Then you are going to be able to choose your position, kind of what is going to be your requirement while trying to activate that special critical effect. So here you got the range one, so you fight at a distance, or the standing one, so your weapon got a proper handling, so you are properly standing there, or you can have the long one, which is meaning that the weapon requires to be wielded while two-handed, or the cavalry one, so the weapon is intended to be used while you are mounted, or the weapon it's accessory, so it could have like flails or rope, and it's going to be actually for when you are going to be sailing. And sailing is pretty much everything when you are on top of a boat and under the water, because in my game the maritime fight is actually really important. So yeah, that's kind of another thing. So next you go with the other traits that you can have. So if you select pretty much everything so far, you know, kind of the damage, what your weapon does, and how you need to fight with it. But also you can do some other cool stuff, like for example light, so your weapon is going to be easy to reload or recharge or reuse in your turn. The chaken is not taken. I got a brain fart there. It's chaken, which is means your weapon is pretty much throwable, so it's only 1 point because after that you are going to be with no weapon. The reload, which is kind of a free, but actually is not good to have because your weapon now is going to be a weapon that needs to be reloaded, and otherwise you can only attack once. And the versatile, which is another trait that you can get that essentially is going to give you a discount for the next trait that you are going to have. But that is kind of a pretty much made out for balancing reasons and design things, so we are not going to talk too deep on that one. And then you can choose pretty much your ammunition. So if you got that special step, probably, you know what, I think in this case the ammunition is going to be here, kind of hidden there on the corner, and here we are going to have the negatives. And the negatives are going to be the ones that are going to be weak traits, for example, so your weapon deals least damage, the heavy, that your weapon is harder to reload, that your weapon is simple, that actually doesn't have any type of extra benefits in terms of fighting against different type of opponents, or your weapon can be depletable, which is something that also you can choose, but if you got a weapon with ammunition, your weapon is actually going to be depleted, so that means no more armor, no more ammo, no more fight. And then of course you got the ammunition one, which is exclusively for projectiles. So here it's really a little bit more comprehensive in the whole system, because you got set of ammunitions, like for example you get a magazine or you get a quiver, are the two different type of projectiles. So a magazine is made for the crossbow, so you go pum 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 pum, and for the bow and the arrow it go phew, doing different stuff. And yeah, so these are kind of the two specific ones, are really more defined already, but that's going to be it. And after you finish that, probably you are going to coming over here to check that everything is like in order or something, or maybe we are going to showcase pretty much everything even here. And then you just need to kind of make your weapon like be crafted or something. Maybe here, for example, could be on this other side. Like when everything is done and ready, probably I want you to pressing a button or showcase something, and then you are going to realize like, yep, this is what I wanted, and probably your weapon is going to end up either here or here. And I'm going to give you something that is going to make you feel good because you crafted your own weapon style. So that's going to be roughly what we got planned already. It doesn't seem like too much, but trust me, it was a lot. Nothing in regards of the mechanics internally are defined yet. I'm going to wind all of these during the stream, so if you're interested, feel free to drop by on my Twitch, because that's going to be, oh boy, quite a journey. So, see you there. Bye bye.